Matt Aguilar here from Comicbook.com, and we are covering Comic-Con in a big way here. And of course, right now, it's Power Rangers time. So, please welcome to the set, Global Marketing Manager, Beth Bamrick. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm so excited for this.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks.
So, yesterday was a lot of stuff. A lot of information came out. We started off with like new figures in the morning, and then we got new footage from Beast Morphers. We got a big return, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then, of course, we got new Ultrazord and a bunch of stuff. So, question is, what have you thought of the reaction to the new footage? And also, why was the choice made to do the special episode that's coming with Austin St. John returning, for those who don't know, in season 2 and not season 1? What was kind of the thinking behind that?
So I'm gonna have to get back to you on that because our studio team really kind of handles those specific questions. So I can definitely get back to you on that, but
yes,
I can't
absolutely.
really have too much information there.
No worries. But do you like was the reaction overall online really positive? Did
Yes.
you like that?
100%. Everyone seems to really love what we're doing, which is great because we want to make sure that we get it right for the fans. So content, toys, all of it, everyone's been really positive, which has been great to see.
And that's also kind of one of the things, right? There's been like a lot of talk online with Power Rangers as a brand, kind of talking about, and Hasbro refers to it as, I believe, an emerging brand. What, I guess, are the steps that need to be taken to move that into the space that, Transformers and My Little Pony and some of those other big franchises that Hasbro has? What are the kind of the biggest steps to take to get it there?
That's a great question. I mean, I think, we kind of just took it on, right?
Yeah.
It was a little over a year ago that we took on Power Rangers. So I think for us, we wanted to make sure that we first established, how is Hasbro really going to take on Power Rangers and elevate it? And so I think for now, the focus is just making sure that we're getting it right from a marketing perspective, from a content with the show. We have big plans in place for the future, but I think for now we're kind of just focused on what we're doing with the brand now, but we do have big plans for the future.
Well, and that was kind of the other thing. So I of course asked Comicbook.com's readers about like what do you want to hear, and there's one thing. There's a couple, but there's one thing that comes up time and time again, and my Twitter mentions are just, they're full of it, right? So it's movie.
Like, let me guess.
So it's movie time. And I know that, there's a lot of stuff. For one, you guys did just take on this. And I feel like people forget that sometimes. Like it feels like you've had the brand for like 5 years now. It's like, no, it's been literally months. But how, I guess twofold, how far into the future are you guys kind of plotting ahead? Because you guys taking on the Master Toy license, you've got a lot of balls in the air. But how far ahead are you planning that stuff? And also, because some of them are impatient, how are we looking at months? Are we looking at something a little more along the lines of a year or two, as far as like when we start getting those things? When can fans expect those things?
So I can't comment as much as everyone would love me to on the movie per se, but I will say, we're really looking at every opportunity. We are planning 2 and 3 years out, so we do have a lot in the pipeline, but we have a lot to get to first. Like we talked about, we kind of just took it on, so we definitely will have more to come. It's top of mind with us as well as we kind of think about where we want to bring the brand next. But again, I think it's, we do have some plans that are out there, which we'll be excited to share with you when we can.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, we're definitely looking at it like a 2 to 3 year approach in everything that we're doing. So,
and since taking this on, we've had Wave 2 of the Lightning Collection got announced. And that, of course, went over well because we know there's it had a nice mix of new and old, and then some Magna Defender. It's like, a character that's not Mighty Morphin. And that's also like Beast Morphin. Like, it makes sense, right? Do there have been like some looking at the way the lines shape out as far as like there's a lot of male characters? Is that something that, like you guys are kind of cognizant of as far as like we want to make sure they're well balanced? why, I guess, is there only there's only one female character in that line so far? Like, why is that the case and that kind of thing? What's the thinking behind that, I guess?
Good question. And I think for us, we're really just taking it character by character, regardless of whether it's a ranger, a villain, gender. We're just trying to bring out some of the fan favorites, kind of first and foremost. And I think if you look across our total toy line, we actually do have some of our great female characters represented. I know Yellow Ranger from Beast Morphers is obviously in our toy line in a lot of different ways. So I think there will definitely be more to come there. But I think, again, it's really just we want to maximize the fan favorites. And I think you saw with the Pink Ranger that was, we couldn't wait to get that one out there. So I think it's just a focus on fan favorites, and we'll kind of continue to do that.
Since you guys have taken this on, what's been the biggest surprise as far as like when you're designing all this and developing and then starting to see reactions to the product that's out there? What's the thing that's, I guess, shocked you the most or that you weren't expecting?
So I think, honestly, I would say for me, the fans, actually. So I think, I grew up with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so I've been a fan. But I think I didn't really realize such a strong fan base is there. And that was on me. I should have realized. And I think, honestly, that's been a breath of fresh air. I think they are passionate about the brand. They tell us when we do it right, when we don't do it right. And I think we listen. And I think that's the other thing. Like, we hear the feedback and we see the comments when they're good or bad. And I think we really take that to heart because we want to get it right. And I think that's one of the things that's been really refreshing for me as being part of the Power Rangers brand, is that fan base and their loyalty, and just they keep coming back year after year, and it's really exciting to see.
And I mean, so far you guys have been great. I apologize for I know what the good and bad comments are.
So, we'll take it all.
Well, and now in recent years, the brand has kind of expanded to be comics and tabletop and video games. It's really kind of flourished over the last few years, and it seems like it's taking chances. Some of those have developed very big followings. Draken from the comics and Ranger Slayer, my personal favorite.
Okay, let me write that down.
And Hyperforce. So, right now, and especially like early on, like we get it. You're going through, there's so many seasons, 25 years of content. So you're hitting some of those greatest hits. Are you open, though, to looking to those other outside things that kind of aren't part of the straight up television series to incorporate into the toy lines and things like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think, yes, we are looking at all of it. And I think you're right. There's such strong followings behind some of those other, platforms like the comic book and all of that. So I think we're open to all of those opportunities. And yes, we are definitely looking at all of it.
Austin St. John returning, which is a big thing. So I know you can't necessarily like say a ton about it. How, I guess, if you can give us an idea though, how long was that in the making? Because that seems like it's something that, especially with these projects, they feel like they're development for a year or 2 years or whatever beforehand. So keeping that relatively quiet. Yes, we know some things made it out, but that's just today's world, right? You can't do anything. So keeping that quiet, how long was that in development in that deal?
I mean, we've been having conversations for a while. I can't give you the exact timing, but I think, it's something that working with our studio team, I think we really wanted to make happen. So it's been in development for a while, and we're excited. We're excited for fans to see it.
Oh, I can't wait. So it's coming up. Soon we'll get new. Now, also, last thing, when is there a concrete time that we can expect more Beast Morphers episodes? Is that coming soon? Is that sooner than later?
It's sooner than later. We can't give you the exact timing. We're working with Nickelodeon. He's a great partner of ours, and so more to come on that. But yeah, it should be sooner rather than later.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I appreciate it. And stick around to Comicbook.com for more Power Rangers news. Peace.